I'm Mary Jane, and these are my closets. Katie has often asked me when I've been with other people, how and when did you start collecting shoes? Well, I never knew I was a shoe collector. I just thought I was a girl who liked shoes. And about 7 years ago, I was in Toronto doing an interior design job, which is my normal day job. And I knew there was a big shoe museum in Toronto and I wanted to go see it. Went to see it, just thought it was fantastic. A few years later, I had the opportunity to be back in Toronto for Christmas, but I didn't know if the museum would be open over the holidays. So I got on their website, and lo and behold, they were going to be open. But as I was getting ready to go off the website, in the upper right-hand corner, I saw a little notice that said, have something to donate? Contact our curator. And I thought, Now this was before I knew I was a collector of shoes. And I had some wonderful, wonderful shoes that didn't fit me anymore because, as all of you or most of you in here will remember, shoes used to come A, AAA, AA, slim, medium, wide. Well, now they only come medium and wide. And as I started wearing those wider shoes, my feet started getting a little wider and I couldn't wear my AAAs and my quads anymore. So I had some beautiful shoes that I thought maybe the museum would want them. So I emailed the curator with just a list of some of the things I thought she might be interested in. My phone rang within 10 minutes, and it was the curator from the Bata Shoe Museum in Toronto. And she said, are you willing to donate the shoes that you listed? And I said, sure, any of those or any more. And she said, well, I know that I want these, and these. I said, oh, okay. I'm going to be there in a few weeks. I'll bring them to you. And that's how this all started. You know, I thought, well, gosh, if the Bata Shoe Museum wants 4 pairs of my shoes, maybe I have something here. And then I started researching some of the other shoe collections in the world, including the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, the City Museum of New York, the Museum of Art and Design in New York, the Victoria and Albert in London. Well, they all have fabulous shoe and clothing collections, and I thought, hot dog, I'm a collector now. Okay, so these walls I just think are gorgeous, and they remind me of the Christian Dior show that was at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London a couple of years ago. And our curator, Katie, saw that show also. And I was thrilled when I saw all of this. So this wall has a couple of my older personal handbags on it. This one is probably 1966, and it has a beautiful gold shoulder chain on it, but I've used it as a clutch also. This one is also 1966. I had the cutest yellow mini dress to go with that. Man, I wish I still had it, but I couldn't wear it. The cowboy boots aren't cowboy boots. They were designed by Donna Karen, and I actually bought them in Philadelphia. When I was in Philadelphia with a group from the museum to see, I think it was a Matisse exhibit or something that was touring the country. And actually the museum might not have been in existence then. I think it was when we still had the Bristol chapter of the Virginia Museum, and a group of us went up there, and I found those on that tour. This is interesting having these two together, because this is a Roger Van S from 1966, This is a Marjorie Harvey from 2018. You know Steve Harvey, the black comedian? His wife loves handbags. And so she designed this purse, and it has a yellow strap, but it also came with this beautiful decorative crossbody strap. This purse is one of my new ones. It's by a company called Odette, and it's a French couple, but they live in Mexico City. So they use all Italian materials, hardware, leather, everything, but they're made in Mexico, and they're French, and there's one of those in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Then I added this little embellishment to that purse. And may I pick something up, Katie?
Yeah, of course.
I had bought this little ballet flat. It's a Kate Spade. And I just thought, oh, that's really cute. I'm going to buy that. So I did. So then, when I was in Venice, there's a ladies' prison in Venice, Italy. And there are a group of volunteer women who teach the prisoners a trade. They teach them to sew, they teach them to embroider, to do beadwork. And I saw this little bag in the ladies' prison store. And I thought, I think that'll go with my little ballet flats. So that's how that duet came together. Have any of you heard of Sam Edelman? There was a line of department store shoes called Sam and Libby for many, many years. And anyway, Sam Edelman is an old friend of mine. His parents were in the exotic leather business. And when that became politically incorrect, they went into the business of taking all the cow hides, the pig hides, the goat hides, the ostrich hides, anything that human beings were consuming. They would take the hides and they would emboss them and make exotic looking hides. And this is a pair of Sam's sandals with the exotic skin. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about something in the other room that's a Sam Edelman. And then he went into making handbags, and I thought this was a really pretty little bag he made. I think this is one of my favorite shoes. It's called a cage shoe. Not just that particular shoe, but any shoe that has that is called a cage shoe. Okay, we'll go to the pink. I added the tassels on the back of this shoe. And I think this is wonderful. It's a Kate Spade also. She's an American designer. These I found on sale at Selfridges in London. I told this story the night of the opening. I walked into the shoe department. I didn't know they were having a big sale. But the shoe department at Selfridges is a block square. I've never seen such a big shoe department. And I walked into the room knowing that everything in there was going to be on sale. And they had like just great big huge tables set up with everything on sale thrown on the table. And it was like a sea of black, except I saw this in the distance. And I ran toward them and they were my size. So I was able to get those.
Have you worn all of these shoes at some time?
Oh yes, I've worn all of them except one pair in the case behind you, the purple high heel with the jeweled heel. And I just bought those knowing I would probably never wear them, but you know, when your heart beats fast enough, you have to follow what it's telling you to do. So I bought them. This is a vegan purse, and honestly, I love it. It's been one of my favorites. This one's also vegan. And I'll talk just a quick minute about patent leather. One of the pairs of shoes I gave to the Bata Shoe Museum in Toronto was real patent leather. They were from 1966. And they were black patent leather with a silver heel, and then this color pink, a little strip of it right around here. And real patent leather was basically a black kid leather that had layer and layer and layer and layer of an oily substance on it that gave that shine. So any patent leather now that you see in this collection is plastic, unfortunately. But, so if you see a pair of shoes on sale somewhere and it says patent leather, know that they're not leather, they're plastic. This is a fabulous new bag. I have not carried this yet, but I do plan on it. It's by a company called Rosanica, and everything they make is sort of round and interesting and jeweled. Before we leave this room, I brought a special treat for my guests today because I just made 2 new purchases, and I'd love to share them with you because they're very interesting. One of the pairs of shoes, no, 2 pairs of the shoes that went to the Vuitton Shoe Museum in Toronto were made by Andrea Pfister. And he was born in Italy, but he studied in Switzerland. And he was known for mixing mediums in his shoes. And I found one of his handbags on eBay the other day. And I had been looking for one, a dressy handbag in this color. And it is a combination muff and handbag in the back. Is that not a beauty? And if you want to, you can wear it as a shoulder strap, you can wear it over your head and like this. And what's so interesting, and this is something, fashion has become so casual. To answer your question a little bit more, it's lined in silver leather, and in the pocket attached is a mirror. And it's attached with the purple suede, and it folds down into the little silver pocket. And I just thought that was a beauty. And I would have hated to pay full price for it when he created it. Apparently it came out of an estate, and the woman had a lot of furs, and it was kept in a fur vault. So, you know, it's like new. She probably bought it to wear once, but I'm going to use it a lot.
What year did you say that I
think I'm going to say late 80s. Yeah. So, Charles Jourdan, the company who has a group of shoes there behind Mike and Hazel, they're still located in Paris, and there is a famous store in London called Brown's. It's a real high-end fashion store. They have the best and the most current of everything. Brown's asked Charles Jourdan to design a shoe just for them. So Charles Jourdan collaborated with an architectural firm in Paris called Andre Putnam, and they came up with the Girl on Fire shoe with the flames coming out the back. Okay, so we'll just start here quick like with the handbags. I didn't realize this until today, but most of the older ones are on the left side. So that's quite nice. Second row down, the saddle brown one that looks like a lunchbox, that's one of my favorites because I love boxy structured ones. And that's from 1967. The pink one next to it is probably 1965. I remember the dress I had that went with that. It was pink and green stripes. The little jeweled clutch was my mother's from the 30s, late 30s. And of interest over here, you know, you hear a lot of people talk about designer handbags. Well, people have different descriptions of designer handbags because my description of a designer handbag is not a handbag that identifies the designer, but that's what most people's description is. You will find in this whole collection one item that screams of the designer. And I didn't buy it. My former mother-in-law bought it for me back in the 70s. And it's back in that corner, which we'll get to later. I'm not going to pay money to advertise something for someone else. And I'm not interested in walking around saying, oh, look at me, I have a so-and-so handbag. I don't like that. I don't want people to know. I don't think that's an important thing. So you won't find signatures, which is interesting because this purse right here is an 80s Valentino. Valentino is still in business today, makes fabulous handbags, but now he's got this great big huge GV on it for his name and everything. And if you get over here and you look real closely at that, in the pink leather, you'll see a little V, but it looks like it's just, that's the way the leather was sewn on. And then on the top shelf, the black one with the bracelet handle, that is a real It List bag. It's made by Chloe in Paris. And the only place on it you'll see Chloe, it's embossed in the leather so small I can't even see it unless I put on big glasses. The clutch with the beautiful turquoise clasp, that's a Michael Kors. Now Michael Kors does a lot of those handbags with his MK and whatnot on it, but you won't find anything on there that says anything about Michael Kors. Like I say, this bag I bought in 1970. It's totally fitted on the inside. It took me 3 paychecks to pay for that. I fell in love with it and I had to have it. And it's just a work of art, made in Italy, of course. This is the Sam Edelman motorcycle boot with the rhinestone buckle on the front. You'll see it when you come around. That is like the Renee Kaovia $3,500 knockoff. The oldest shoe is this blue one right here. My father bought those for me, and I had a special dress that went with them, and I love them. I have worn those recently. This purse is an Alexander McQueen. It's an iconic bag, like the Chloe bracelet bag up here. Alexander McQueen died the year after I bought it. It has a wonderful strap inside that comes out, and it's a great travel purse because during the day I can wear it as a crossbody, and then at night I just unbuckle the strap and I have it as a just a little evening bag. This sandal, which looks like patent leather, which unfortunately is plastic. Although this is a Christian Louboutin, so it's plastic on top of leather. It's not just a layer of plastic. They're beautifully made. And my rainbow purse is a Kurt Geiger. He's a London designer. And just because of what's going on in the world today, I thought I have to have that rainbow purse. So I'm open to any questions, and I know Katie wants to tell you about the video and the back wall. Yeah?
Behind you, top shelf on the right.
That's a cigar box.
That's what they're, okay.
Yes, made into a handbag with a beaded handle.
Okay. And then same case, first shelf, I guess, the round one.
In the middle?
Geometrical design.
That's a Carlos Falci, and that's from the 80s. And it has a shoulder strap also.